You remember the 100-acre wood as safe, gentle, unchanging. But this forest was not designed for happiness. It was built to keep grief and war at bay. No one grows up. No one leaves. Time itself is frozen because this world was meant to protect, not to heal. Why would A. Milne create a sanctuary so peaceful it aches with loneliness? Subscribe to Childhood Shadows if you want to see what really haunts our favorite childhood worlds. Now, let us talk about what the 100-acre wood really is and why it exists at all. Every story in the 100-acre wood begins as if nothing has happened before. Pooh wakes up, hungry for honey. Piglet trembles at a distant noise. Eeyore searches for his tail again. The sun never seems to move across the sky, and the seasons never change. There is no autumn, no winter, only a gentle, endless now. The characters greet one another with the same warmth, repeat the same adventures, and return home unchanged. When Pooh sets out for honey, he always ends up stuck in Rabbit's doorway or floating on a balloon, as if the forest itself refuses to let him learn or grow. Eeyore's tail is lost and found, but the sadness remains. Tigger bounces in, full of energy, but never settles. Each story resets, as if the day before never happened. No one celebrates a birthday that adds a year. Christopher Robin never grows taller, never leaves for school, never outgrows his friends. The world outside the forest is only a rumor, never a real threat. The forest gates do not open, the paths never lead out. The map at the front of the book shows every corner, but there is nowhere new to discover. Even the language circles back on itself. The narrator tells us, "Here is Edward Bear coming downstairs now," but it might as well be every day, forever. For a child, this feels safe. Nothing bad will happen that cannot be gently undone. But as you listen closely, a different feeling creeps in, a quiet ache, a sense that time is standing still, because it must. The 100-acre wood is a place where nothing is allowed to change, because change would mean loss. The comfort is real, but so is the emptiness. The stories close as they began. Pooh is still a bear of very little brain. Piglet is still small and afraid. Christopher Robin is still a child. The loop never breaks. You start to wonder why. Why would someone build a world where nothing can move forward? Why would a story choose to stay small, even when it hurts? E.H. Shepard's pen moved quietly across the paper, drawing not just animals and trees, but a world suspended in stillness. The map at the front of the book is no fantasy. It is a careful tracing of real ground. Ashdown Forest's 500-acre wood, with its winding paths and open heath, appears almost unchanged in Shepard's lines. The bridge where Pooh plays his game stands exactly where a wooden crossing sits in Sussex. The sandy pit, the winding tracks, the stream that cuts through the trees, all match the contours of the real land, step for step. But the map does something more than record geography. Look at the empty spaces between the names. Vast stretches of white surround the small, labeled places where the animals live. A tiny house, a lone tree, a bridge, each floats in a sea of blankness. Shepard's sketches linger on the emptiness. A bear sits alone at the edge of a clearing. Piglet is dwarfed by the forest around him. Eeyore's home is marked by a single drooping line. The animals are always small, always separated by wide fields or tangled woods. Even when together, they seem to exist on islands of their own. This negative space is not an accident. Shepard visited the forest with Milne and Christopher Robin, sketchbook in hand. He followed the same paths, paused at the same bends, and left the same wide margins. The published map and the field sketches line up almost perfectly. Conservationists and literary scholars have overlaid Shepard's drawings on modern maps and found the boundaries and landmarks align within meters. The effect is deliberate, a world that feels real and also strangely empty. The silence on the page becomes its own kind of character. It is not just the absence of noise, but the absence of movement. of crowds, of change. The 100 Acre Wood is surrounded by blankness, as if nothing exists beyond its borders. The forest is both a place and a boundary, a space where time stands still, and the rest of the world falls away. When you look at Shepard's art, you see more than a children's story. You see a map of a refuge, drawn with the precision of memory and the loneliness of longing. The stillness is not just in the stories, it is written into the land itself. That quiet is a shelter. It is also a warning. Refuge and stillness, held in the same line. In the summer of 1916, Alan Alexander Milne stood in the mud of the Somme, surrounded by wire, shell fire, and the bodies of men he knew. He watched his best friend, Ernest Pusch, die in an instant, killed by a shell as he sat down to tea. Milne's battalion lost dozens in a single attack. He described the experience later as a nightmare of mental and moral degradation. The war did not make him brave. It made him sick, hollow, and exhausted. 10 days after the worst fighting, he was sent home, broken by illness and grief. He never returned to the front. Instead, he spent the rest of the war behind a desk, writing government propaganda, trying to find a way back to ordinary life. But the images of the trenches never left him. When he saw his wife again, he broke down in tears. He wrote later that he wanted nothing more to do with violence or heroics. He vowed instead to create something gentle, a small world where nothing truly bad could happen, where pain and loss were kept outside the borders. The quiet of the 100 Acre Wood was not innocence. It was a place built by a man who had seen too much and who needed somewhere safe to rest. Christopher Robin was not just a name in a storybook. He was a real boy, growing up in the shadow of a world that refused to let him grow. At home, the toys and the woods were his companions, steady, unchanging, always waiting for him. But outside that circle, the world was not so gentle. When he left for boarding school in 1929, classmates did not see a beloved character. They saw a target. The teasing was relentless. He wrote years later that his father had climbed on top of his infant shoulders, leaving him to carry the weight of someone else's dream of childhood. The stories that made him famous also made him lonely, trapping him in a version of himself that could not change, even as he longed to. By his 20s, Christopher made a quiet decision. He packed up the original stuffed animals, Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, and the rest, and sent them across the ocean to the New York Public Library in 1947. It was not just a donation, it was a farewell. It was a way to lock away the boy he had been, behind glass, where he could not be reached. In his memoir, he wrote with a kind of tired honesty, remembering the pain of being kept small for so long. The 100 Acre Wood was a refuge, but it was also a cage. For Christopher, childhood did not end. It was preserved, on display, for everyone but him. Every animal in the 100 Acre Wood is a feeling, sealed in place. Pooh circles endlessly, searching for honey, comforted by routine that never quite fills him. Even when he sits quietly, empty pot in hand, there is no lesson, just the promise that tomorrow he will try again. Piglet trembles through each story, his fear never soothed, his voice always small. Eeyore's gloom lingers at the edge of every gathering, tail lost and found, but never truly mended. Tigger bursts into the forest with boundless energy, bouncing to hide the emptiness that follows when he stops. Rabbit organizes, plans, and worries, trapped in a cycle of control that never brings peace. None of them change. Their troubles are contained, not solved, held safe inside the forest's borders so nothing spills out or grows. When Disney arrived in 1966, the sadness softened. The colors brightened, songs filled the spaces between words, and the slow ache of the woods was wrapped in warmth. Pooh's hunger became a cheerful quirk. Eeyore's sighs turned gentle, almost funny. But even through the sunshine and melody, the emptiness never left. The Hundred Acre Wood remained quiet, slow, and strangely hollow, a world built to hold feelings that could not be spoken aloud. Even now, the Hundred Acre Wood endures, unchanged and untouched, because the need for refuge never disappears. In a world still shaped by anxiety and loss, we reach for stories that hold us safe, not stories that heal. Some childhood forests are mapped by grief. Most of us never really leave them.